Hi, this is Nick Watt, and today we're going to be taking a look at Spirit Hunters Inc. I'm going to show you the tutorial from the beginning of the game, and then we'll have a look at some of the other features. So this is the splash screen for Spirit Hunters Inc. Shadow, and obviously I have to touch the screen to start anything, so I'm going to go ahead and tap. And at the start of the game, you get a little bit of story that introduces you to Spirit Hunters. So welcome to Spirit Hunters Inc. We're delighted you have volunteered to help us hunt and capture these pesky spirits. They're becoming quite a nuisance. Spirit Hunters Inc. is a multinational task force set up to rid our world of unwelcome spirits, and we need you. So there you go. Do you reckon you're up to it? Your Nintendo DSi has been turned into a powerful spirit hunting device. It will allow you to harness the power of the spiritual elements against spirits so they can be captured. With this device, you'll learn how to hunt for and coax spirits out into the open, battle them to weaken their power, and finally capture them so they can be sent back to the spirit world where they belong. Wow, okay. But enough of this chit-chat. We don't just recruit any old fool, you know. You need to be made of the right stuff. Are you made of the right stuff? Well, I think I am, so I'm going to tap on yes, bring it on. That's the spirit. Oops, pardon the pun. To prove you're made of the right stuff, you need to pass the Spirit Hunters Inc. Novice Battle Test. But first, you must pick the element you want to be aligned to. Now you need to select the element you're going to battle spirits with. Please tap on one of the elements below to see more information. Okay, so what we've got here are 6 elements, ranked from the probably easiest to learn, which is ice at the top left, to fungal, which is the hardest one and is also has the most weaknesses as well. So I'm just going to quickly tap on each of them. So you can see here that it basically says that ice is focused on damage and defense. It has no healing capabilities. And some of the abilities you can learn are glacial plating, which will protect you, and freeze, which will stop enemies in your tracks. Now freeze is really handy because obviously if you can stop an enemy, stop a spirit and freeze them in place, you're going to be able to do a lot of damage to them when they can't do anything back to you. So you can see here it says that ice is weak to fire and light, and it's also strong against water and fungal. So you've got to remember that when you get into battle, because if you're up against a fire spirit, that's going to prove quite tricky, and obviously the same with the light one, and then you're going to have quite an easy time against water and fungal. Whereas the other remaining elements that are not mentioned there, obviously you're going to be fairly neutral for, so they'll be very even battles. So I'll quickly go through the other ones. So fire, that's mostly focused on damage. It's got a little bit of defensive stuff and a little bit of healing as well. So for example, you can learn burn, which is a passive ability, so your abilities will trigger burn and do more damage. And you'll also learn flaming rage later on. Flaming rage is really cool because it allows you to do things like eruption and healing flames, which are both really powerful damage or healing abilities. So fire is weak to water and shadow, and it's strong against ice and fungal. Water is more focused on healing and protective abilities, so it does a moderate amount of damage. It's pretty cool, but it's one of these ones where you can really last a long time because you've got a lot of healing capabilities. So you can learn Waterfall, which is a really nice ability which allows you to smash your foe, and you can also learn Protective Bubble, which kind of puts a bubble around you and stops you from taking damage for a period of time. Water is weak to ice and fungal, and it's strong against light and fire. So the bottom 3 are slightly more different, maybe slightly new to a lot of the RPG players. Shadow and light are both weak to each other and also strong against each other, so that's quite an interesting dynamic. So Shadow is focused on damage, but it also has a lot of leeching effects, so you can apply Curse, for example, and what that will do is it will do damage to your foe and it will also heal you back, which is quite cool. You also get some abilities that allow you to slow the opponent down, and then with using your curses and using slow, you can end up doing a lot more damage. So as I mentioned before, Shadow is weak to light, it's also weak to fungal as well, and it's also strong against light, so that's a bit of an interesting dynamic, and it's also strong against fire as well. So, light. Light's really powerful. It's got a lot of damage abilities, but it doesn't have very many defensive, and it doesn't have. I think it's got 1 healing ability, and it's quite a weak heal. But what's cool is you can learn light speed, and that kind of speeds you up for a period of time, which means your abilities recharge quicker, and anything that you're casting casts a lot quicker as well, so that's really nice. And then you can also blind your opponents, which makes them more likely to miss you or not do their attacks. So again, as I mentioned in Shadow, light's weak to Shadow. It's also strong against Shadow, but it's also weak to water. Light is also strong against ice and fungal. So light's quite a powerful one because it's strong against 3 elements. And then finally we've got fungal. So fungal's quite funky. It's very focused on leeching effects and poison type effects. So the leeching ones are great. You get fungal spores, and the more of them you apply, the more damage you do, but also the more healing you get back, so you can really kind of survive for quite a while. And that's important because fungal's really quite weak to 3 elements, so that can make life quite tricky, particularly seeing as fire and ice are quite common. So as it says there, you can learn fungal spores, which are really cool, and it's also got 3 different protective auras that you can alternate between depending on your playstyle. So fungal is weak to fire, ice and light, but it's strong against shadow and water. So I'm going to choose fungal just for to do the training, and let's get into a battle. So here we see that we explain a little bit about how to play the game. So you can see on the top screen here, you've got the spirit. You can see on the left, the green bar is your health. On the right is the spirit's health. And you've got your abilities along the bottom. So each ability, when you'll see it, we'll only start with 1, but when you get into battle, you can use 1 and then it recharges. On the left and in the bottom and the middle, you've got little icons that show you where the spirit is. So in this case, the little green dot. When they're in the middle, they're obviously in the middle of the screen, and as they move left and right or up and down, they might move off the screen, and it kind of helps you track them down. Okay, so this is going to tell us the spirit they're about to battle. So our training battle is going to be pretty easy. So we're fighting a level 1 wolf, and he's part of the Canis family. You can see his stats there on the top screen, and you can also see his likes and dislikes. So each spirit has their own likes and dislikes, which makes it easier for you to kind of give your friends hints, or even for yourself to work out when the best time is to capture them. So Wolf likes lunchtime, so he's going to hang around mostly during the middle of the day, and his favourite colour is navy blue. So if you're around about blue, like navy blue, bluish colours, he'll be a lot more likely to come in and attack you. Okay, so it tells me on the bottom screen that I've chosen fungal, so I'm going to get fungal spore cloud, and I've got to flick it at my foe. Okay, so let's start the battle. Cool, so we see the versus screen here, and then you can see on the top screen my health and Wolf's health. You'll also see status effects. So he's just hit me with a water bomb, and I'm going to flick out fungal spores, which have just hit him. And you can see on the top screen it's applied a little debuff, and it's starting to absorb damage. It's doing damage to him and absorbing health back towards me. So I can just sit there and let that count down, or I can keep flicking out more fungal spores to him. So there you go, just hit him with the second one. And if I time it right, which I didn't there, I'll do it again. Oh damn, I just missed it. You would get 2 stacks, and the more stacks you have on him, the more damage he's going to take. So I've just managed to kill him, which is quite cool. And obviously the training battle is really easy. It's designed so that you kind of pick up the game quite quickly and don't really fail. So we've defeated him. We've passed the test. Well done, you passed the test. Please select continue to enter your details or change element. If you want to choose a different element, that is. Note that you must complete another training battle if you decide to change element. So if we click change element, it would take us back to the elemental selection screen, and obviously we could decide actually maybe we want to go ice or fire, or maybe light or water or shadow. But I'm just going to stick with fungal for just now, so I'm going to tap continue. Okay, so now I've got to enter my name so that I can become a proper spirit hunter. So I'm going to put in my name. And this is important because this is the name that you need to give to your friends if they want to make challenges and stuff for you, which I'll describe later on. Okay, now you can see here I've got a little thing hanging in my ear because I'm recording my voice. So I'm going to take a photo of me for my license. And then the game's going to generate the license for me. So there we go with my awesome photograph. Nice work! We are excited to have you on board, Nick. And for winning your first battle, here are 500 guilders, which is the money in Spirit Hunters Inc., and 500 XP, which are obviously your experience points that you need to level up. But don't let that battle fool you, because it only gets harder from here on in. You will need items to heal yourself, so please take these 5 apples. Okay, cool, so we're going to get 5 apples. Before you get out and battle these spirits, you need to know how to find them. Use your spirit hunting device to scan the area around you. When a spirit is detected by the device, a puff of smoke will appear. Tap on the smoke with a stylus to coax a spirit from its hideout. Different spirits will be detected depending on the time of day, the colours around you, and your level. So basically, as that says, depending on where you are, what colours around you, what time of day it is, and what level you are, you'll face different spirits. So you really need to go and explore the world and make sure that you look in different places to find all the spirits, because if you're just in one place, then you probably won't find them all. And then just a little hint here, remember, tap on the scanner icon in the main menu to scan for spirits. Tap OK to go to the main menu, so we'll tap OK. Oh, and I've unlocked a badge. So badges are a little bit like achievements. We put them in quite a lot of our games, so as you go along there's lots of different things that you can do, some are a bit more quirky than others, which allow you to, basically you get a reward and you get a badge. Some of the badges actually give you bonus experience points, which make it easier to level up, or bonus money too, which is quite cool. In the next video, we'll take a look at the main menu and all the different features.